Let's try to create malware which cannot be detected by the security systems. I'd like to try to create a backdoor with the MSF Venom first. Go to the TheFatRat folder and run TheFatRat script. If you let the tool add a shortcut to the system, you don't need to go to the TheFatRat folder. You can run it from anywhere. It checks all dependent applications and conditions, such as internet connection, at the beginning. Don't upload to VirusTotal warning. Okay, there are several different methods to create backdoors using the TheFatRat. You can create backdoors here using MSF Venom, Fudwin, Avoid, PWN-Wins, etc. In addition, you can add backdoors into the original Android APK packages. Let's create a malware with a backdoor using the MSF Venom in this example. Type 1 and hit Enter into the main menu. MSF Venom Creator Module menu appears. Now, since our victim's machine's operating system is Windows, I chose here the second option in this menu. It first gives me the IP information of my local machine, then asks for the listener IP address. Thanks for the kindness. Since I use this machine as the listener, I enter its IP address. Asking for the listener port, I'll choose 5555 for this time. Now it wants me to enter the base name for the output files that the tool is going to generate. While trying to find the correct payload and malware, you may need to try a lot of different options. So to be able to recognize which file I generate for this time, I use the day of the month and the time in file names. For this example, since today is the first day of the month and it's 2255, I use 01-22-55 as the file name base. Next step is to choose the payload. Let's choose Windows/Meterpreter/reverse_TCP number 3. It uses almost all facilities of MSF Venom. It encodes the payload with 10 iterations with Shikata_GA_NAI encoding method first, then encodes with another method 8 times, and 3 other encodings follow. The malicious executable was created. It's in the output folder under the TheFatRat folder. Now, let's go to the victim machine and transfer the file using WinSCP. Connect to your Kali machine. Remember, SCP protocol uses the SSH, so be sure that the SSH is running in Kali. My Kali's SSH is serving from 443. Don't ask why. Okay, we connected. Go to the folder in where our file is. Root, TheFatRat, output, and here it is. Drop it and drag to the desktop of the Windows system. But first, let's start Windows Defender and see if our malware is able to avoid it or not. Okay, it's already running. Now let's transfer the malware into the Windows system. Oops, our malware is detected by Windows Defender and deleted in a few seconds. Anyway, there are always some computers which do not have any security protection. Let's examine our malware if it works on them. Go to Settings, Administrator pane, and uncheck the Turn on this app checkbox to disable Windows Defender, and press Save Changes. Now, drag the malware again and drop into the desktop. For running the application in the victim machine, let's think about the hacker side. Are we ready as a hacker? What do we need to connect to the back door if the malware succeeds? Well, sure, we don't have a listener at the moment. Go to Kali machine to start a listener. Start Metasploit Framework console using MSF console command. While Metasploit Framework is starting, I look at the information of the backdoor in the terminal where I create it to make sure the payload is the one I used. Why? Because I have to use the exact same payload while creating the listener. MSF started, type use exploit/multi/handler first. And then set the payload that we used in the malware. Look at the options using the show options command. Set the lhost. Again, I use the information of the malware. Set the port, which was 5555 on my malware. Now type exploit to start the handler. Go to the victim machine now and run the malware we copied a few minutes ago. Turn back to Kali, you see that a Meterpreter session is opened. Once again, the victory is ours. But wait a second. Windows Defender on Windows 8 has detected our malware. We should find another way to create an undetectable malware. This time, I'd like to create a malware using PWN-Wins, the option 6. We are now in the main menu of the TheFatRat tool. Type 6 and hit Enter to use PWN-Wins to create the malware at this time. PWN module menu appears. There are different options here to create an exec, batch, or PDF file. I'd like to use the second option to create an executable malware. Now, when I type 2 and hit Enter, it gives the IP information of my system and asks for the listener host. Enter the L host, the IP of your Kali, and L port. This time I use 6666. Use whatever you want. Base name for output files, I use the same format, 01-23-02. Again, I choose the third payload, reverse_TCP, the backdoor is saved to the output folder. Now let's go to the victim machine and transfer the file using WinSCP. The Kali side of WinSCP, we're in the output folder of the TheFatRat application. Before transferring the new malware into the victim machine, be sure that Windows Defender is running. I open the Action Center and turn on Windows Defender. Okay, it's running. I can transfer our new malware now. No, not again. Defender detected our new malware as well. Well, we should try another method. The TheFatRat is very powerful, and I'm sure we can find a way to bypass the Defender. I'll try another method of PWN-Wins, the sixth option of the main menu. This time, I choose the fourth option in PWN-Wins menu. I'll again create a malicious executable with a different method. Inputs are all the same, lhost first, then lport. I choose 7777 this time, and the base name of the output files. I chose the reverse TCP as the payload, the third option. And done. The output file is created. Let's go back to the victim machine, refresh the Kali side of WinSCP, and drag the newest malware and SROP into Windows Desktop. As you see at the lower right-hand corner, Windows Defender is running. And it couldn't detect our malware this time. Well done! We overcame it with the first problem, bypassed the security system. Now, the main question is, does the malware work? I mean, do we have the back door? So at this point, we go back to Kali and start a listener. Start the MSF console. use exploit/multi/handler to use the handler. Set the payload, the same one we used in the malware. To be sure, I prefer to copy the payload from the TheFatRat terminal and paste it. Set lhost, the IP address of Kali, and lport. Remember, that was 7777. I want to look at the open ports using netstat-tnlp Linux command. 7777 is not in use at the moment. Back we go to MSF Console's terminal and type execute to start the handler. Go to the Windows machine and run the malware by double-clicking on it. Back to the Kali machine, and a new Meterpreter session is open. Now we can say, victory is ours.